I found at this time, may the peace of y'all come upon you when you learn to obey him. Hallelujah. At this time, brothers and sisters. And we're going to be looking at the sons of Dawid, part 3, once again. It's very important that we uncover this information, the knowledge of Yah that came from Yah, brothers and sisters, that he gave to the prophets, the messengers of Yah to give to our nation, that we would know what's going to come upon us in the latter time period. Yes, and we in this time period now, brothers and sisters. And every word of Yah is true. So we're going to concentrate and we're going to look at the prophet book Yah at this time. In the translation they call Jeremiah. Chapter 11, verse 16 to 17, I'm going to concentrate on that to open up with, because it's very important, because we're going to deal with this green olive tree, figurative of speech. The Father always, and many times you see references to agriculture, to the creation of the earth. Yes, Abiyah compares to, and the mannerism how these things flourish and how they was planted and grow, and for the healing of our nations. Yes, and how our nation going to be the healing for the nations of the earth. Yes, they're going to bring Abiyah Sequah to the earth, his righteousness. The Hebrew word is Sequah, and another word is Tiskenu. These words, family, you need to get very familiar with, because we're going to be using it forever. The English word is righteousness. And many people are familiar with Yah, our righteousness, or they're saying in a falsified way, Lord, our righteousness. But it's Yah, our righteousness. Yah Zikwa, how we will phrase it and say it in Abaru, what they call Hebrew, the ones who crossed over into the land of Canaan. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters, in many different lands as well. So, brothers and sisters, we're looking at 11, and we're going to learn the significance of Yazikwa, Yah, our righteousness, and how we're going to be using this term frequently. It's going to be our motto. One brother said a movement, and that's our movement, and rightfully so. It is. A brother out of Chicago, a group there of our people, had insight on this, and it was revealed to them. And out of this olive tree will come the arm of Yah, the strength of Yah, his government, the family, the kingdom. So we keep that in mind, the arm of Yah, the strength of Yah. So all this is associated with Yah, number one. So keep that in mind. Nobody need to be jealous, prideful, or think they got the upper hand on one another. We do not need to look at that or look in that way as a family. We must work as a unit, work together. Because in a tree bears many branches, many functions to a tree. And Yah compared us to a green olive tree. He called us this. Right here, we're going to get into it right here, so you may understand this and move jealousy away from you. It doesn't matter who had it first, who it was revealed to first. If the purpose is revealed to you, to share, not to hold to yourself, to share and bring everyone else into the light. And as others take grip of it, and have knowledge of it as well, they will say the same. It's all in the family. It's all of Yah. Brothers and sisters, we can't think like the world and say, oh, I'm going down here and sue for copyrights. That's foolishness, brothers and sisters. That's not even of Yah. So right here, because all things belong to Yah, it was for our nation. Right here, I'm looking at chapter 11 of Yah, and verse 16 at this time. And this is all for your knowledge and for your enactment, to bring these things to pass. We must bring these things to pass by obeying Yah. Yah first set the words out, and he said his word will not turn back void. Every word of his will be carried out. Yes, and by whom they must carry it out once you come into the knowledge. It's right here. It said Yah has named you. green olive tree. You see that? Beautiful. They got good, goodly, but it's actually righteously fruit, a beneficial fruit, with the noise of great sound. He has set it on fire. See this tree. He broken down this green olive tree, and his branches shall be broken. See, the branches of this tree, the green olive tree, shall be broken. And Yah of hosts, who planted you, has spoken evil against you, for the evil of the house of Yashael, the northern nation, and of the house of Yada, which they have done against themselves to provoke to move Yah by burning incense to Baal. So keep that in mind. I want to share that with you to show you this is the sign of Yah was pronouncing a sentencing on them, and how he was going to break the green olive tree and its branches should be broken. You see, from the green olive tree, but the green olive tree is the whole house, the nation of Yashael Yah, that consists of the two nations that were one but turned into two. So I've divided it to Yashael Yah and Yada. But the branches will be broken. But then Yah also show at the time the branch will be broken that the branch will be restored. So we're looking at, so I'm letting you know right here. I brought this so you can know when I'm talking this figurative speech, and as much of in this message, it referred to us as a tree and branch. And see, from out of this green olive tree, which out of our nation, gonna come this branch. Yes, this horn, this leader, which is many branches is in the green olive tree. But from out of this branch of Dawid, see, the offspring of Dawid, a particular man, gonna come this new branch. See, because remember the branches were broken. But Abiyah said, from out of this shoot will come a new branch. So keep that in mind. As I'm going to continue in the book of Jeremiah, I'm going to the chapter 33. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. It's chapter 33 and verse 14. Because Yah require for us to do some work. So right here, and this is the work you must know and put it into your minds, into your hearts, brothers and sisters. In chapter 33 of the book of Jeremiah, it reads, "See, the day are coming, declares Yah, when I shall establish, see, to bring it to flourishing and to the light, he shall establish, which is set up to plant the righteous word which I have promised to the house of Yashael Yah and to the house of Yada." See, he referred to us again as two distinct nations, the northern and the southern kingdom, that make up the whole green olive tree. He said, in those days, so it's in that time period, at that time I cause a branch of righteousness, see, a branch of righteousness to spring forth for Dawid. See, a branch of righteousness going to spring forth for Dawid, and he should do right ruling. See, the branch is going to spring forth, come in the day, in this time period, in those days, he's going to grow up. See, from the root of Dawid. See, the offspring of Dawid, and he shall do right ruling and righteousness in the earth. And in those days, Yada shall be saved. See, so in the time period of this branch, the knowledge is given now, so you know, in those days, we are in those days, Yada shall be saved. See, so it's in the day, so it could be any, in the time, in the life of this one, that's what he's showing you right there, that he's going to be saved. So these are things we got to know. In those days, Yah shall be saved, and Yah Shalom dwell in safety. And this. So it's a process. So in them days, this branch of righteousness is going to do something in the earth. That's what it's showing you there, brothers and sisters. So keep that in mind. I'm going to continue on reading. It says, in those days, Yah shall be saved. Yah Shalom dwell safely in the time period of this branch, in the life of this branch. So it's not all coming in one day. It's in those days, in the time period. So keep that in mind. We're going to be living into it. We're going to go into it. This branch is going to take you into the place where you will be saved. So keep that in mind. I'm going to show you that. It said right here. Let me go back a little bit. So pay careful attention, family. It said, in those days, Yah shall be saved, and Yah Shalom dwell in safety. And this is that which shall be proclaimed to her. See, Yah our righteousness. What's going to be proclaimed to you is Yah Sequah. See, the phrase here, it got Yah, they got our righteousness. Our righteousness is English. In Hebrew language, which is the modern Hebrew, we got is Yah Sequah. And another meaning for righteousness is Tiskenu. It's Yah our righteousness. It's not our righteousness is English, but when we speak in our own native language, we say Yah Sequah. So it's is that which should be claimed in those days, showing the prophecy, and a part of that prophecy that did, it's been fulfilled right before your hearing. It said, and that which shall be proclaimed, announced to her, to who? The green olive tree. Showing we are in the time period to be saved. But we're not saved yet. It's a process. Because in the process to be saved is the gathering. The call to Yah Sequah. See, this is what should be proclaimed, announced, see, to her. See, announced to her, Yah Sequah. I'm announcing it to you now. See how it's been fulfilled right before you as I speak, as the group in Chicago speak. They've been saying, Yah our righteousness, Yah our righteousness, Yah our righteousness is the movement. It's the proclamation, the announcement to her. We are in the time period to be saved. But the fulfillment comes when we get home. But it's a process to get to Zion, the place of refuge. But the branch of Dawid you will gather to. See, right here says, is which you shall be proclaimed. Let's go back real quick to 16 at the beginning. It said, in those days, understand that in those days, which in the time period of those days, Yah shall be saved. See, it said in those days, it's more than one day, it's plural S. Showing you're going to do something to get to the point of being saved. Saved is the completion of salvation, of deliverance, of the migrating. So you're migrating back to Zion to be saved by the branch of righteousness, by Yah Sequah. See, it said right here, in those days Yah shall be saved, and Yah Shalom shall dwell in safety, and this is that which shall be proclaimed to her. Yah Sequah, see, Yah our righteousness. For that saith Yah, for Dawid there is not to cease a man, see, a man to sit on the throne of the house of Yashael Yah. Keep that in mind. So we will follow a man that represents Yah righteousness. And even his name will be called Yahshua. That's 23. I'm going to get there. And you're going to see it plainly. Even his name going to be called Yahshua. So that's this, excuse me, for thus said Yah, for Dawid there is not to cease a man, see a man that bear righteousness and going to bring forth righteousness, going to spring up on the earth through this green olive tree from the branch of Dawid. For thus said Yah, for Dawid there is not to cease a man. So those who all say they don't follow a man, you will never be in the kingdom of Yah. Because this man will follow the righteousness of Yah, not of his own. For thus saith Yah that come from the seed of Dawid. For thus said Yah, for Dawid there should not cease a man to set on the throne of the house of Yashael Yah. See, over the family, the nation of people. For the priests and the Levites, there is not to cease a man, see, to offer ascending offerings before me, to kill the grain offerings, and to the slaughter continuously, see, continuously without end. All this is coming when we all back home. And the word of Yah came. I'm going to go to the 26th verse, to Yerim Yah, saying, thus saith Yah, if you could break my covenant with the day and my covenant with the night, so that there be not day and night in their season, then my covenant will also be broken with Dawid, my servant, so that he shall not have a son to reign upon his throne. And with the Levites, the priests, my attendants. See how hand in hand the Dawid seed gonna work with the Levites? It said, as the host of the heavens is not counted, nor the sand of the sea measured, so I increased the descendants of Dawid, my servant, and the Levites also attend upon me. See? Take hold of their duties. And the word of Yah came to Yerim Yah, saying, have you not observed what these people have spoken? Saying the two clans which Yah has chosen have been rejected by him. So they despise my people, no more to be a nation before them. Thus saith Yah, if my covenant, his agreement, is not with the day and night, and if I have not appointed the laws of the heavens and the earth, see, he set all these things in order, then I will also reject the descendants of Yaakov. You see that? And Dawid, my servant, so that I should not take of his descendants to be rulers over the descendants of Abraham, Yishak, and Yaakov. For I shall turn back their captivity. You see that? And have compassion on them. That's very important. See, Yah going to turn back our captivity. Because his promise and his agreement, his covenant, is unbreakable, brothers and sisters. That's what he's showing you right there. And have compassion on them. So he can remove our captivity. And the time of this branch of righteousness is on the scene. And in his days, we will be saved. That's why the proclamation is going out now to her, to the green olive tree, once again, Yahshua. Yah is our righteousness, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to go to, at this time, the prophet book, Zechariah chapter 6, at this time. Brothers and sisters. This is where a lot of our people failed in the past. They did not take heed to the prophets. And that's why we got put out of the land, brothers and sisters. They did not turn away from the idolatry practice, following in other nations. So Yah gave our people over to their lovers. And now our people find out their lovers do not love them, but kill them. So let me go to, let me find Zechariah, bear with me for a moment, brothers and sisters. I passed it. So I'm going to Zechariah chapter 6 at this time. Give me a moment. Let me get there. So meditate on the words of Yah as I'm locating Zechariah at this time. Okay, Zechariah chapter 6, verse 12 to 13 at this time. And I'm going to go right into it. It said, and shall speak to him, saying, thus said Yah of hosts, saying, see the man whose name is the branch, and from his place he shall branch out, and he shall build the Hekel of Yah, see the temple. See, this branch gonna build the temple of Yah. It is he who is going to build the temple of Yah. It is he who is going to bear the splendor, and he shall set and rule on his throne, and he shall be a priest on his throne, and the counsel of peace, he shalom, shall be between them both. See, between both offices, the sovereign, the king, the prince, and the priest, the Kohan. Brothers and sisters, that's what he's saying right there. There's going to be peace between both offices. And this one, the branch that he is called, will bear both offices, brothers and sisters. He just won't be just the ruler. He'll also be the priest of Yah, the high priest of Yah, that will be responsible to prepare the sin offerings for the people of Yah. Yes, to present them to Yah, to prepare the food as well. So these things, brother and sister, is some of the functions of the priest. As I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go in this particular translation forward to Chronicles and get on deeper into this message. I'm showing you the branch. I show you the green olive tree that is the whole nation. Of the chosen people of Yah, the Aru nation of Yaakov, the man name changed to Yashael, your upright strength with Yah, brother and sister, that this branch would come from this green olive tree, from the seed of Dawid, and will rise up and also lead our people back to Zion. In the sequah of Yah, the righteousness of Yah, see, sequah, Yah, our righteousness. So it's a movement, yes, to move back in the orders of Yah in righteousness, in Yah sequah, see, Yah, our righteousness. And the righteousness of Yah, the strength of Yah, the arm of Yah. The arm of Yah is also the strength of Yah, the Torah of Yah, which is his righteousness, brothers and sisters. As well, it all go hand in hand together. So with that, I'm going to go to 2 Chronicles chapter 36 at this time. I'm going to start off in verse 1. Because verse 1, I'm going to read part of verse 1 here. I'm going to read the whole thing. It says, and the people of the land took Ahaz, son of Yoshiyahu, and set him up to reign in his ancestors' place, his father's place, in Yashalom. They got Jerusalem, but it's Yashalom, because the temple, the city was named after Yah, and as well as the people. See, Yahu, Ahaz, Yoshiyahu bears the name of our Bara, our Creator, Yah. Right there, brothers and sisters. I show you that to show this last one was the last one chosen from the people of Yah to be the ruler over the people of Yah. So keep that in mind, as again the scripture show, in our last days we will choose one to govern our people, and obviously everybody know who that will be, the branch of Yah. But nevertheless we will still choose, because in this we will see the righteousness of Yah, Yaziquah. So keep that in mind. This one will bear the righteousness of Yah to get the house of Yah back into Yaziquah, the righteousness of Yah again. So we got to remember that, brother and sister, that is very significant, very important, because how we're going to inherit these things is by Yaziquah, the righteousness of Yah. So keep that in mind. And from there, I'm going to First Chronicles. I'm going to read verse 11 to 23 at this time. I'm going to get right into it. It said, Tiskiyahu was 21 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 11 years in Yashalom. I'm showing you the sons of Dawid. And the last three sons of Dawid weren't even appointed by the last three kings of our nation weren't even appointed by our own people. One was appointed by Egypt, and the last two was appointed by Babylon, known as Bethel. So keep that in mind. I have to show you the first one. That was on the last one, actually right here. Ahaz was the last one chosen by the people of Yah. But the last three were chosen by other nations, other than our own people, to rule our own people. So right here, it said, let me get my place. Okay, I'm going right here. Tiskiyahu was 21 years old, and when I want to bring this out too, point this out too. Many of the kings of our nation was young men. So that, I'm saying this to let the older men know, to say Quinn know, that we all must be humble, because don't look at how old this man may be, because we had one king. He began to reign at 8 years old. And he was a great king. He became a great king. I think his name, as far as I can remember, his name was Yoshiah. Yeah, Yoshiah. And he, in 18 years of his reign, they began to keep Passover again. Showing right there, it was a time period we had so many unrighteous kings. See? So many of them. And in the 18 years, even this man, he was practicing, walking right before Yah. It took 18 years for his reign to organize and get the people and the priests together to offer offerings again. That's how corrupt our people became in the eyesight of Yah. They weren't even listening to the priests, the prophets of Yah, the seers of Yah. They turned their ears and eyes away from Yah. But this one, he had to make them keep Passover. So these are things we got to think about, brother and sisters. And he began his reign at 8 years old. So don't look at how old somebody, he's not qualified, because in this man, even that when he was 8 years old, he had to learn his position. And he had advisors. He had prophets that was working with him. And he even acquired some information from a prophetess. So these are things we got to know of our nation, brothers and sisters, the history of the past, what took place. So we would not fail and make errors today and misjudge our people, whoever may become this branch, who that branch may be. Me or whoever that branch may be. That come from the seed of Dawid, brothers and sisters. These things we can't look at the age. that many of our people were judged by the false appearance and the lack of knowledge of our histories. So these are things we must bear in mind and keep in mind, the records to count. That's why I'm showing some of these things right here. So you can see the ages. See right here, he was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Yashalom. And he did evil, see, in the eyes of Yah. And Yah was watching. And his bara, I don't use the word Elohim, I'm going to get into that later. Bara, I got a very special video coming for this, so you can know, because we got to get in line and exclusively serve Yah, because that's why our people missed the mark. They didn't exclusively serve Yah alone. Let me keep reading. Bara, the creator, and he did not humble himself before Yerim Yah, see the prophet. See how y'all had this prophet, this seer, Yerim Yah, to talk to this king, but the king did not listen, who spoke from the mouth of Yah, see the words of Yah. And he also rebelled against the sovereign of Nebuchadnezzar, who had made him swear by Bara, but he stiffened in his neck and hardened his heart against turning to Yah, Bara of Yashael Yah. And so also, all the heads, I'm looking at how far I'm going to go down to this with this right here. Okay, I'm going to read down to the 23rd verse. And so also all the heads of the priests and the people trespass more and more. You see that? According to all the abominations of the nation. See? They did likewise. All the abominations that the nations done, they done. And they defiled the house of Yah. You see that? Which he has set apart in Yashalom. And Yah-Bara of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, see? Rising up early and sending them, for he had compassion on his people. See how the mercy of Yah had compassion and send these ones with the words of Yah to warn them to turn back on his dwelling place. But they were mocking the messengers. See, they were making fun of the messengers of Bara, the priest. I mean the prophets of Bara. Our own people did these things. That's why a lot of our people still got this mockery against the priests today. They don't even acquire knowledge from the priests. They go on their own knowledge, which is false knowledge, and despise his words, see, and scoffed at his prophets. See there? Until the wrath of Yah arose against his people, until there was no healing. See that? To the wound, there was no healing. The damage they done against the messengers of Yah that brought the words of Yah. It said, therefore, he brought against them the sovereign of the Chaldeans, what they call the Chaldeans, and he killed their young men with the sword, and in the house of their set apart place. You see that? And had no compassion on the young man or maiden, on the aged or the weak. He gave all into his hand. See, into the Chaldean hand. And all the utensils from the house of Bara, great and small, and the treasures of the house of Yah, and the treasures of the sovereign and his leaders, all he brought to Bethel, see? Babylon. I got more to come on this word Bethel. It's very important that y'all hear that video. And they shall burn the house of Bara. See, burn the house Beit Yah, the set up, the Kodesh place, the gathering place, and broke down the wall of Yashalom, and burnt all its palaces with fire. That was the first temple. And destroyed all the valuable utensils. And those who escaped from the sword he exiled to Bethel. I wanted to say something more about Bethel because that was a phrase Abiyah used when he came down on this nation. I'm going to hold off on that. I want to talk about it, but I'm going to hold off on it. He said, where they became servants to him and his sons until the reign of the Persians. See, until that time, the Persians came. So let me keep reading. It said, in order to fulfill the word of Yah by the mouth of Jeremiah until the land enjoyed her Sabbaths. Hey, somebody bring me my green Bible real quick. And as long as she lay waste, she kept the Sabbath, see, until 70 years were completed. And in the first year of Koresh, sovereign of Persia, in order to accomplish the word of Yah by the mouth of Jeremiah. So right here, I just want to show you something real quick. Let me give me a moment. I'm going to go to this other translation called the Living Bible in Chronicles. Let me get the Chronicles as fast as I can. I'm going to Second Chronicles here. Second Chronicles. Let me find my place. It's 22. Second Chronicles 22, 21. And the word of Yah spoke through the remake right here. Then the army burned. So let me go right here. It's right here. Let me get over here, get some light. Let's say 19. It said, then his army burned the temple and broke down the walls of Yashalom and burnt all the palaces and destroyed all the valuable temple utensils. Those who survived were taken away to Babylon as slaves to the king and his sons until the kingdom of Persia conquered Babylon. Thus the word of Yah spoken through Jeremiah came true, that the land must rest for 70 years to make up for the years when the people refused to observe the Sabbath. You see that? So our people refused at that time to observe the Sabbath and to keep the Abiyah law, so he vanished them for 70 years to make up for all that time they did not keep the Sabbath in the land of Yah. So that's the piece I want to show you right there, brother and sister. As I come back over here to the translation called the Scriptures at this time, it said, and thus said Koresh, sovereign of Persia, Yah Barah of the heavens has given me all the reins of the earth, and he has commanded me to build him a house in Yashalom. That was the second temple, which is in Yada. Whoever is among you of all his people, Yah his Barah be with him, and let him go up. Yes, go up and to rebuild his temple. And that was the decree went out from as I go back to the prophet book Jeremiah chapter 23. I hope I can get all this in the video, but not going to be powerful. Because sometimes my video cut off when it get around about 40-something minutes. So I'm going to talk much as possible. I got quite a bit more to go. I'm going to go to Jeremiah at this time. Because Koresh was the anointed one from Persia, Abiyah chose brother and sisters. And you can read more about him in 45:1 of Isaiah. He was the last Messiah and wasn't even of our nation. Abiyah chose him to be the anointed to free his people from Babylon, to return home, to build the second temple that later got destroyed, brothers and sisters, by the Greek Roman, by the fourth beast. So I'm going to Jeremiah chapter 23 at this time. Hope I can get this in before my video cut off. So let me kind of speed this up, because right here we talk about the branch again. You know, it's very important, the branch. So right here you get more knowledge about the branch. I'm going to start off with verse 3. That is very important. Verse 3 reads right here. It said, therefore, in the book of Jeremiah that they call Jeremiah, it said, therefore I shall gather the remnant of my flock out of all the lands where I have driven them. See, it's the remnant. And shall bring them back to their fold. And they shall bear and increase. See, we're going to grow in numbers. And I shall raise up a shepherds over them. See, he'll raise up shepherds over them, the priests over them. And they shall feed them. And they shall fear no more, nor be discouraged, nor shall they lack, declare Yah. See, we're not going to lack, declares Yah. See, the days are coming, which we are in that time period now, declares Yah, when I shall raise, see, here it goes again, I shall raise for Dawid a branch, see, a branch of righteousness from Dawid. Remember, we are the green olive tree, our whole nation, but from Dawid a branch of righteousness, and a sovereign, see, and a sovereign shall reign, see, he shall rule and act wisely, and shall do right rulings and righteousness in all the earth. See, so all in this time period of this branch of Dawid that is raising, see, he shall reign, he shall come into the reign and act wisely, and should do right ruling. See, act wisely, he doing things, and should do right ruling. See, he gonna make right judgment according to the Torah of Yah, and righteousness in the earth. See, righteousness will flourish in the earth from out of this branch of righteousness of Yah. And so in his days, Yah shall be saved, and Yah shall alone dwell safely. And this is his name, see, his identity, his fame, whereby he shall be called. Yaziqua, see, I don't know why my focus is not there yet on my camera. Let me see, they got an automatic focus. But his name, his name whereby he shall be called, is Yaziqua. How far I'm going to go down to verse 9? Okay, Yaziqua. See, they got the English is our righteousness, but it's Yaziqua. Or you can use the interchangeable word Tiskenu, but it's Yaziqua. He said, therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yah, when they shall say no more, as Yah live, who brought up the children of Yashael Yah out of the land of Mizraim, but as Yah lives, who brought up and led the seed of the house of Yashael Yah out of the land of the north, and from all the lands where I have driven them. And they shall dwell in their own land, see, in their own soil. Showing we must return back to our own soil. He said, and my heart within me is broken because of the prophets. And all my bones shall I shake. All my bones shake. He said, I am like a drunken man, and like a man overcome by wine, because Yah, and because of his set apart words. See, that's what he's saying right there. It set apart words, and I was going to stop it. Now I want you to see this. See, because of Yah set apart words, that he showed your ring out that was going to take place. Brothers and sisters. He said, for the land is full. Now I'm going to go down and say, my heart within me is broken because of the prophets. See, and all my bones shake. I am like a drunken man. See, he read the prophets and the words that Abiyah said that are going to take place. All these set apart words. Even when I'm giving you now, and my bones shall shake. And all my bones shake, and I am like a drunken man, and like a man overcome by the wine, because of Yah. See, because of Yah, and because of his set apart words of what Abiyah showing that's going to take place. And by this branch, Abiyah, in this time period, see, in the time period of this branch, you got to know this, family. We will be led by a man of Yah, of righteousness that will proceed. And it's going to spring up. In his lifetime, we're going to be saved. So these are things you must know as I go to Isaiah. And let nobody fool you, brothers and sisters. That I'm showing the real Messiah of Yah. The real anointed one of Yah. That comes from the branch. And I'm showing all the works he will do. Isaiah chapter 4 and 16. You got to know who you are. And when Abiyah talking figuratively, it compare you to a tree. And the tree will be planted in the garden of Yah in Zion. Yes, where all the righteousness will flourish. And where the people of Yah will have their rest and peace. Yes, and the branch of Yah will lead you there, brothers and sisters. Yaziqua. So right here, we're looking at Isaiah. I'm going to Isaiah 11.